Hello again, and welcome to the fourth of these little chats. And today we are dealing with how to remove a curse. So, in the previous one, when I was talking about curses, I said that I actually think they're not done as regularly in real life as we sometimes think. That a lot of the time we've done it to ourselves by our negative self-talk, just brought it on ourselves. But yeah, there are times when you have done it in the heat of the moment, maybe, and need to undo it. Now, depending on what you've done, that can be quite simple. It can just be that you reel that energy back in. At this point, what I'm thinking of is the evil eye. And I think whether you're magically inclined or not, whether you call yourself a witch or not, everyone at some stage is likely to have looked with envy or jealousy or spite at somebody else and been thinking of them with that energy. That is the evil eye. Now that the evil eye only works if the other person actually knows or senses what you've done. So if they see you looking at them with that look, then they know. As magical people, us being affected by something like that, extremely unlikely. Us being affected by anybody's curse, I think, is extremely unlikely, simply because we will have our defences up, we'll have our shields up. They're just going to ping off, you know. Having said that, there are always those days when, weeks even, when we haven't kept ourselves protected or as shielded, and these things can get through. But do people throw them around willy-nilly? No, I don't. I really don't believe they do. So if you have suddenly realised that you've been looking at somebody thinking, I could quite happily stab you, you can undo that. You literally just have to unthink it. Just say to the universe, I was out of order. I shouldn't have been thinking that. I want that energy dissipated. It's simple. Magic should be simple. The more contrived we make it, the more likely something's going to go wrong. For me, other people are different. You know, some people love ceremonial magic, and my hat is off to them, because I really can't. I just get so confused, so bogged down in it, that it just doesn't work for me. I am a simple witch. The agate that we talked about, the agate slice that we talked about in the previous one, where you would write your curse on there. Now, as I said, if you'd inscribed it, inscribing means scraped in, you could shatter the agate whilst saying that you actually, the curse is ended. It's your energy in there. So if you're saying that the curse is ended and you smash the agate, the energy will just go to the universe, and the universe will get rid of it for you. If you've written it with the nail polish, then, as I said, whilst you're unpicking it, you can be saying, this curse is ended, it's finished, I don't want it to go anywhere, I want the energy that's in this curse to go to the universe, for the universe to turn into energy for good, or however you want to put it. Yeah, so basically undo whatever you've done. If it's one that you've burnt, slightly trickier. However, that energy is still yours. You can redirect it. For me, I would tend to do it with a candle spell, simply because that would give me a focus. So yes, I haven't got the packet anymore because it's been burnt and the ashes are disposed of. But for me, I would use a candle. I would tend to use, I think, white. I wouldn't try and link, for me, this is me, that you may do something, do this your own way. But yeah, I would have a white candle and I would focus on what I'd done. And I would visualize that if I still had that packet, that I was reversing what I'd done. And then say to the energies around me, I want that energy dispersed. I want that curse ended. That's how I think I would do it. But those are things that you've done. Those are curses that you have performed and you now wish to dispose of. What if you do feel that a curse has been put on you? What can you do about it? Again, in Rachel's book, she very kindly has given us a couple of ideas. So one of the ones that she says is a spell, and it's a jar or a bottle, and you need some string. So an empty jar or bottle, and you literally wrap the string around the bottle, jar or neck. Just literally wrap it whilst you're saying, and so whilst you're wrapping, you're thinking of what you think has cursed you, or the curse that's on you, the end, whatever's happening. And then as you tie the knot, any curse is placed on me, I now bury in the earth deeply. The string I knot once and then twice to turn the luck and make it nice. And then you bury the bottle or jar in your garden. If you don't have a garden, bury it in a bucket or in a pot of soil. Leave it for as long as you think it needs to be buried. I think, if I'm right, Rachel suggests, leaving it for either 3, 6 or 9 days, but that could also go into weeks. So if you get to 9 days and you still feel that the curse is on you, then I would tend to leave it for 3 weeks. See how the energy feels at the end of that. Leave it for another 3 weeks. So it's multiples of 3. Or you could do days still. It's up to you, however much long you want to leave it. But you just leave that empty bottle there because the emptiness is meant to enclose the curse. When you think that its work is done, you unbury the bottle, hold it in your hands and say, the curse was buried deep. The hold over me can take a leap. And then you just smash the bottle. I tend to do that outside, maybe onto a tarpaulin or something, so that you can then pick up all the glass and dispose of it. But yeah, don't leave broken glass lying around for animals and wildlife. But yeah, there's a nice simple way of literally just getting that energy into an specific empty container and then chucking it. Another method that I've seen, and I've adapted this slightly because some of them were asked for all sorts of weird and wonderful ingredients. Like I said, the internet is full of these things. Some of them are very good. Some of them are good ideas. Some of the things that they suggest, you just think, how on earth am I meant to get hold of that? Which is why I've taken this and I've adapted it. So this is removing a curse from you using a bath or a wash, because I am conscious that some people don't have baths, they have shower rooms. Some people are disabled and cannot bath, they have to wash. So I have adapted this so that you can use whatever is good for you. It does say to start off by having a shower to remove any mundane energy. If you can't, then I would just have your normal wash. You then fill your bath or a basin full of warm water. And then if you're having a bath, 3 cups of salt to the water and swirl it around. In a basin, 3 tablespoons. To a bath, add 10 drops of rosemary essential oil or 4 tablespoons of dried rosemary. In a basin for a wash, 2 drops of the essential oil and 2 teaspoons of the dried rosemary. If you're having a bath, you then sit in the water, or if you're using a basin, a clean flannel specifically for this. Wipe yourself all over. So if you're in the bath, you can just splash the water all over you. If you're using a basin and washing, then you are going to wash the energy. So you're going to rinse it out the flannel, wash it away. Whilst you are visualizing all of that negative energy lifting away from your body and returning to the earth. That's what you're asking it to do. You're going to return that energy. The curse that's been put on you is going, all that energy going out into the water, and it's going to go back into the earth, and Mother Earth will deal with it. And you can visualize, see that curse break. However you want, you see it smash like a mirror, however you want to do it. And all the effects being removed from you whilst you are sitting in the bath or washing. You may want to repeat this exercise, the wash or the bath, for maybe 3 days in a row or weekly for a 3-week period, just to make sure, unless you feel when you've done it that first time, you actually get that clear smash, it's gone, it's broken. If you don't, then repeat it. So either for 3 consecutive days, once a week for 3 consecutive weeks, for as long as you feel, but do it in multiples of 3. As I said, there is more information on the internet about unbreaking curses and this sort of thing than there is in books. So I would suggest, and I do in the written blog that's part of this series, suggest a few places that you can go and start looking, but just type into Google or whatever search engine you have, uncursing, or even just curses, and start looking, but be discriminatory, in that look at them and see whether they make sense, because like I said, people have been really generous in putting their stuff out there, but some of it really just doesn't make sense or has got so many ingredients to them, and a lot of the ingredients are from the other side of the world. What relevance has that got to do with me? No, I'll use stuff that I can either grow in the garden or that I've got in my cupboard, because it makes more sense to me to use local stuff rather than why something from Australia going to help me in England, unless somebody in Australia has cursed me, which would be extremely unlikely. But there you go. Right. I hope again that you have enjoyed this little chat, and I will see you for the next one, which will be hexes. And yeah,